So we're right in the middle of summer and I've got 21 citrus fragrances for you to check out. I'm gonna tell you what they are coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Let's get right to this list because I've got 21 fragrances, 21 citrus fragrances, all covering different styles of citruses, including lemon, lime, bergamot, orange, mandarin orange, grapefruit, you name it. We've got it all here. We've also left off as much as I can the neroli and orange blossom because I did a separate video for that style and you already know all about those fragrances. So we're strictly covering the fruit now, no flowers. But you know, these fragrances will include some of the floral notes and of course the leaves like petitgrain and things like that. But most of these are all citrus dominant, and they're gonna get right to it with the House of Atelier Cologne and two, actually we have three. I've got two here first and then we got one more towards the end. But first off, it's Bergamot Soleil. Here we got bergamot, bitter orange, lavender, oak moss, cardamom, and vetiver in this fragrance. And it's a juicy, sweeter bergamot fragrance. And if you like your bergamot fragrances and you want something a little sweet, not so sour and tart, I suggest you try Bergamot Soleil. It's really lovely. Recently voted 4 stars in the Perfumes the Guide 2018 book by Luca Turin. So if he likes it, you might like it, but then again, you might not. Taste star all over the place. I like this one. I like it a lot. I like the sweetness, and it's. I've got another bergamot dominant fragrance in the list, and they're nothing alike. So this is Bergamot Soleil from Atelier Cologne. Next, we're going to the fragrance Clementine, California. So with this one, you got clementines, orange, cypress, juniper berry, sage, and vetiver. So this one comes off a little more effervescent, a little more bubbly, a little more uplifting. Well, actually they're both uplifting, but there's something sparkly about Clementine, California. And I think the juniper berries, the sage, and the vetiver kind of give it like this bubbliness about it. It's kind of like when you open up a can of soda and you can feel that effervescent bubbles. That's what I get with this one. It's really special. I love this one a lot. And I love the fact that it's got the name California because that's where I live, in California, in San Francisco, California. So it is a lovely fragrance. It's perfect for summer. And if you're in the dead of winter and you want something uplifting, this is also perfect for that kind of a situation. So this is Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California. Next, we're going to the House of Imaginary Authors. And this is a new one they just launched. If you saw the video I did for Sun Drunk with Josh Myers, you would have found out all about this fragrance. But anyway, this is Sun Drunk, as I said. And this is all about neroli, rhubarb, honeysuckle, rosewater, orange zest, and a first kiss, according to Imaginary Authors' notes. Now, to me, the orange zest is the big note here. As soon as I smell it, it smells just like oranges, like lots of juicy oranges. But you do pick up some of the neroli, and you also pick up the rhubarb. But to me, what this smells like is Campari. Think of Campari you make Negronis with. Campari with grapefruit juice or even orange juice. So mix those two together. This is what I get from it. It doesn't smell boozy because Campari doesn't come off boozy. Boozy fragrances usually I associate with like whiskey and rum. This is not boozy. But it smells a little bitter from that Campari and a little juicy and sweet from the orange or grapefruit. Really lovely. I think this is perfect. I think this has been a great release from Imaginary Authors. It's gonna do well for them if it's not already. So this is Sun Drunk from Imaginary Authors. Next up, we're going to the House of Rocha. This is Eau de Rocha pour Homme, this one right here. Now, I want to also say a lot of these are unisex fragrances. Here we got a masculine targeted or male targeted fragrance, but it's not to say woman can't pull this one off because this is very unisex to me, even though it's a masculine scent. And here we've got lemon, we've got lime, we've got lemongrass, bergamot, orange, and aldehydes. Truly beautiful, very gorgeous fragrance. I love wearing it. It's underrated. Nobody really talks about this one, and you should definitely check it out. There's discounts for this one, absolutely available for discounted prices, and I think it's one that should be talked about, especially since there's something that's very similar to this on the list, and I'll tell you what it is once we get to it. But this is Rocha, Eau de Rocha Homme. Check it out, it's a good one. Next up is the other bergamot fragrance, as I said earlier with Bergamot Soleil. This is Bergamot 22 from Le Labo. Now, this is a tart, juicy, zingy, refreshing, a green bergamot fragrance. This is probably, well, I shouldn't say probably, this is definitely my favorite bergamot. As soon as I smell it, I get this green vibe, the juicy, tart. It's almost like when you cut into a lemon and you're looking at it and your mouth is kind of like watering and puckering. That's the kind of this feeling or the thing I get with this one. It's just absolutely lovely. It's just beautiful. It's also pretty decent lasting. I like the way it lasts, but to me this is more about the smell. It smells so true to me, and I look past the performance, even though the performance, like I said, it's not fabulous, like it's not amazing, but it's not also bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's perfect in the heat waves. This is awesome, and I'm putting it to use this weekend in the heat. So this is Bergamot 22 from Le Labo. Next we go into the house of Annick Goutal, which, as I said earlier on another video, they've rebranded as Goutal Paris. We're gonna go with their signature, their most popular fragrance, Eau d'Adrien, this one right here. Now, Annick Goutal has feminine bottles and masculine bottles. I have the EDP version in the feminine bottle here, but it's a unisex fragrance, if that makes sense. The masculine bottles are like this, but they do not have an EDP version in the masculine bottle. They only have it in the feminine bottle. The scent is very, very unisex. It's all about lemon, cypress, yuzu, grapefruit, orange, aldehydes, and ylang ylang. Absolutely one of the best citruses ever. It's amazing. It's like citrus, it's tart, it's sour. And in humid weather, I think this works awesomely, and it's truly one of a kind. If you like tart citrus fragrances, Eau d'Adrien is definitely one not to be missed. So this is Eau d'Adrien in EDP. EDT is available. It's by Annick Goutal, which is now called Goutal Paris. Check it out. Next, we are doing another fragrance from the house of Annick Goutal. This is a strictly masculine targeted fragrance. This is called Eau de Monsieur. This is all about citruses. Again, this is a citrus video, as I said. And in this video, we have bergamot, mandarin orange, mint, and geranium. So this one kind of reminds me a little bit of another fragrance that's coming up. I'm gonna tell you right after this, which is also similar to, a little bit similar to Eau de Roche Homme. This one is a, personally I think it's kind of like the masculine version, more masculine version of this one, even though I think this is pretty unisex. This has the herbal notes where Eau d'Adrien does not, but it's just kind of more like Eau Sauvage to me. But it's all about the citruses. If you like citruses, this is definitely one to check out, especially since it comes in the masculine bottle. And it's a great one to wear in the heat. I love it. So Eau de Monsieur by Annick Goutal is another one. And speaking of that other fragrance, this is a fragrance from Dior, recently featured in my 20 fragrances ranked by Ashley video, and she picked this one over the new version of this fragrance. This is Eau Sauvage, and this is all about citruses once again. We got lemon, bergamot, basil, oak moss, and also rosemary here. So it is herbal like Eau de Monsieur. They're not the same. They kind of feel the same, but they're not the same. This one is a truly recognizable fragrance. It also has this like creamy vibe. There's something creamy in here. There's vetiver in here, of course. I didn't mention the vetiver, but it's not one of the dominant notes. But it's got this creamy underlying creaminess, which I like. It gives it a more comforting, soothing kind of a vibe. But it's truly a beautiful, beautiful classic men's fragrance. It doesn't smell old at all. Eau Sauvage, check it out. Again, this is masculine targeted, but I find it to be very, very unisex. So check it out. So next we're going to the house of MFK, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Acqua Universalis Forte. So here we got lemon, bergamot, white flowers, and musk, and one of the cleanest fragrances ever. Just beautiful. It's musky, but it's a clean musk. It's lemony, it's citrusy, and it's of course a little floral as well. And performance is amazing on this one. It works awesome in the heat, and absolutely love wearing it. So check it out, Acqua Universalis Forte. If you don't know it, you've got to be missing out on this one, because you definitely need to check. If you like clean scents, if you like citrus scents, this is one to check out for sure. Next we're going to the house of MFK again, and this is Petit Matin. This is the second and last Maison Francis citrus fragrance that I have on this list. This is all about lemon, orange blossom, and some woody notes, and maybe perhaps some clean musk in here as well. but this one is more effervescent compared to the previous one. The other one was clean. This is clean too. They're both clean. I find the other one to be more like laundry clean. This one's like citrus clean, if that makes sense. And this one comes off very effervescent and sparkly. It's just gorgeous, actually. Beautiful. Totally different fragrances, but both very awesome. Great performing citruses for that. So this is the Petit Matin. You've got to check out this one. It's absolutely one of my favorites. So that's from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Next, we're going to the house of Borsari, which I just did a video for. If you haven't caught that, please do. This is Borsari 1870s Acqua Classica, this one right here. This is all about bergamot, lime, orange. It's citruses. Plus you've got like some herbal notes, and you've got that ivy and ginger note in here. And it's very refreshing. It's also zingy, and it's a bit green. It feels like there's fig note in here, as fig leaf note as I was mentioning, but it's the ivy leaf. Absolutely one of a kind. It's very underrated. You've got to check it out. It's Borsari 1870, and this is Acqua Classica. There's deals to be had with this one. They're definitely under $50, so check it out. So next up, I've got a fragrance that I discovered on a trip to New Orleans one year, a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. And this is from the house of Hermès, and this is, well, it's originally Eau d'Orange Verte, but this is Concentre, or the Orange Verte. So it's the concentrated version. The original one that I bought back in almost 20 years ago smelled like this, and they had rebranded the fragrance, and they came out with the original and the concentrated version, which this is. This one to me smells like the original version, and I think what they've done is they made the two versions. But this is all about orange, basil, cedar, patchouli, amber. But to me, it smells like petitgrain. It smells like the leaves and the twigs of the orange tree with the orange fruit smell as well. So it's very woody to me. It comes off very woody, but really truly gorgeous. I once stayed at a hotel, and they had products of this particular fragrance, and I was in heaven because I loved showering with all those like beautiful orangey green woody smell. And you know, I didn't have the fragrance with me because it was winter. I wasn't traveling with it, but I was only wishing that I had it so I can, you know, combine the products with the scent itself. If you don't know this, you probably don't know fragrance, because this has been around for a long time, and it is probably a very well-known classic from this house. It's from Hermès. Check it out. Next up, we're going to the house of Jacques Fath, and this is Green Water. This one right here, and this is all about bergamot, oranges, mandarin orange, and some herbal notes and vetiver notes. And it's one of a kind, remade several years ago, rebranded under a new ownership, as Jacques Fath used to be under a different brand. I think they had mentioned to me that they used to be under L'Oreal at one point, but they left it, and a new company bought it out from Paris, and they've rebranded. They've got several fragrances now, and this is a classic. It's definitely one that everybody knows about. It's been around for years, since the 40s, I think. Green Water. I can't remember, but if you know, please put a comment down and let me know. I do have a review of it as well with Lanier Smith. If you like him, you should catch that video. But this is great. It's perfect for summer. It's fresh, it's refreshing, and can't be beat in the heat. So check it out, Green Water by Jacques Fath. Next, we're going to a fragrance that's very unique to me. It's from a house called Aether, which you probably should be hearing about soon. I just did a review for one of their fragrances called Rose Alkane, but this one is Citrus Ester. So this one uses a note called methyl pamplemousse, and it's also got grapefruit, and it's very citrusy. It's very, like, I don't know how you say it. It just smells like citruses gone electric, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but electrified citruses, and I love that about it because it also has this great longevity. If you like fragrances like the eccentric molecules fragrances, things like that, like things that are synthetically produced to create smells, this one's definitely one to try. Absolutely love this one. It's musky as well. It's a clean musk, and also has this like electricity, kind of a electric feel to it, even though it doesn't smell. I guess you can tell it's a synthetic note, but it doesn't come off fake or synthetic, if that makes sense. It's one of a kind. I love it. So check it out, Citrus Ester. Definitely do some research on this brand called Aether. Next, we're going to a fragrance called Monsieur Balmain by Balmain, which I recently featured in my haul video recently, and you probably saw that this was kind of like on really difficult to find. So I picked up 2 tester bottles, and that's all I could find because I had a bottle that had a little bit left in it, and I wanted a replacement because I love this scent. It was inexpensive when I first bought it, but these turned out to be about $75 each. Maybe 70, I can't remember now. But here we've got lots of lemon, we've got bergamot, vetiver, bitter orange, basil, ginger, sandalwood, and delicious. It's actually really lemony. It doesn't go too tart, it's a bit sweet, but it's definitely lemon and citruses, and it's great in the heat. I love it in the heat, and I can only hope that they bring this back. Because, you know, the brand is kind of like revived thanks to the Kardashians and the new creative director behind the brand. So I'm only assuming they're going to revive their fragrances, if not everything. But maybe they're just like, maybe it's not discontinued. Maybe just they don't have a production of it, and we'll see it again. But if you can find it, check it out. It's really, really great lemony citrus fragrance. It is masculine targeted. It's called Monsieur Balmain, but I think it's very, very unisex. So check it out, Monsieur Balmain by Balmain. Next up, we have the very last Atelier Cologne fragrance, and this is Orange Sanguine by Atelier Cologne, and this is all about blood orange. You've got bitter orange, geranium, jasmine, and sandalwood. And it's probably the best interpretation of an orange scent because it smells like truly, not necessarily tart citruses and tart orange, but it smells like a sweet orange. Very, 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 very ripened orange. And it's lovely to wear. It's very cozy and comforting as well. When you spray this one, you can kind of smell the juiciness of the citruses or the orange in here. It's just really, really beautiful. It does have almost like a smell of orange juice, if that makes sense. There's this like butteriness also, there's creaminess about it. And I think that's caused from the sandalwood note in here because there's a sandalwood note, and I like that about it. It's nothing like wow, but if you like a true orange smell, this one is the one for you. So this is Orange Sanguine by Atelier Cologne. Next up, we're going to the house of Frederic Malle, and this is Cologne Bigarade, created by Jean-Claude Elena. So this one's all about bitter orange. You've also got grass, hay, rose, and cedar, and it smells truly awesome. I'm gonna spray some of this on me because I like the effervescent vibe it gives, and it's really lovely. In the heat, this one rocks. I love that about it because the dry down is quite amazing with this one, the way it dries down. I mean, you can still pick up the citruses, but it gets kind of woody. So it's a combo of the woody notes and also the citruses together. It's just magical. Heat waves, this is one to try. So this is Cologne Bigarade, created by Jean-Claude Elena for Frederic Malle. So check that one out. Now the next one is a fragrance I wore back in the late 90s, and I recently was gifted a bottle. And this is from the house of PENHALIGON'S, and this is Blenheim Bouquet, this one right here. So this one's all about lemon, lime, pine, black pepper, lavender, and musk. And to me, this one smells like kumquats. So if you have ever picked any kumquats off of a tree and you put your nose to them and, you know, crush them a little, that's what it smells like. That is exactly what it smells like. It's like a juicy, bitter, refreshing citrus combo with a bit of woody notes and some herbal notes and some pine kind of notes. Truly one of a kind. It's been around for a long time. As I said, the first time I wore it was in the back in the late 90s when I first discovered PENHALIGON'S, and to this day I absolutely love it. So this is Blenheim Bouquet by PENHALIGON'S. Check it out. Next we're going to an underrated Tom Ford fragrance that nobody really speaks about, and I think this is not part of the regular private blend lineup anymore. It's part of the exclusive, well actually not exclusive, it's part of the store, boutique or online. This is Azure Lime, this one right here. I bought this like several years ago to do some decanting with some friends online. And this one still have a bunch of it. And this is all about lime, but according to the notes, it's got citruses. It doesn't really say which notes, but I'm assuming lots of lime. Then it's got woody notes and musk and some floral notes. But to me, when you smell this one, it smells like a true lime. Like it smells true, like the way the lime juice smells. But it also has this like sweetness to it. It's not the ultra tart kind, if that makes sense. But really, really lovely. It's not a wow kind of fragrance, but it's one that people don't talk about, and I think people should. Check it out. It's Azure Lime from Tom Ford. Next, we've got a fragrance from a very new brand for me, and this was a fragrance that was sent to me from the house of Panah, London. And this is called 24K Citrus, this one right here. So this one's all about lemons. Once again, lemons. I love lemons. Being from the Mediterranean, you grow up eating lots of lemons or consuming lots of lemons. Lemons are like the cure-all kind of a fruit, if that makes sense. So this is all about lemon. You've got pepper, you've got cedar wood, you've got vetiver, gaillac wood, and this is also extrait de parfum. So if you've never discovered this brand, they're kind of slowly appearing everywhere, and they do ship to the States as well. This bottle right here is a small bottle, but it is extrait de parfum, and I've worn it a couple times, and it leaves such a residue on me. It's like oil, so it's really, really concentrated. So you don't need a lot of sprays with this one, and a few sprays goes a long way, and the fragrance lasts. It is extrait de parfum, as I said, so one of the most concentrated forms of perfume or fragrance you can wear. So this is 24K Citrus by Panah, London. Check it out. This bottle retails for about $100. All right, so last but not least, we're going to the house of Acqua di Parma. And this is one I picked up while I was in Italy recently. This is Chinotto di Liguria. So this one I fell in love with instantly, and it reminds me of something, but I still can't figure out what it reminds me of. But either way, it's got a dominant note of Chinotto. So this is a citrus myrtiflora. So it's a citrus tree from Italy that they create a drink called Chinotto, and it's a smaller, more dwarf-sized citrus with smaller orange fruits. So it's different to me. I don't know much about this tree, but I love the way it smells. It's all about citruses, as I said. Plus you also have mandarin orange and some other notes, but truly beautiful, amazing actually. I like this one a lot, but it really does remind me of something else, and I can't quite figure out what that is. If you guys know, let me know, because I really, really want to find out. This one I also overspray. It's really, really refreshing and works great in the heat. So there you have it. This is the last one. This is Chinotto di Liguria. It's not Chinotto, it's Chinotto. I was corrected recently, as I said in a previous video. And that's the list, 21 citrus fragrances for you to go check out and buy and try and all that good stuff. I would suggest going and getting some samples or decants or testing these in stores before you go buy full bottles. I have links to everything in the info box as well. If you want to just go right to a full bottle, you can do that. Also guys, let me know what your thoughts are on these fragrances. Have you tried them? Are you familiar with them? Are you curious to try them? Do you own them? Let me know. And also, if I'm missing anything, any citrus fragrances, as I love citrus fragrances. Being Mediterranean, you get to love citrus fragrances. So let me know what fragrances I'm missing so I can try more in the future and add more as well, and then create a brand new list next year. All right guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.